We are M&M Real Business Solutions.
Today we're going to talk about developed traffic, or DevT for short.
So developed traffic, it refers to unnecessary, confusing, or off-policy work that clogs the lines, that creates extra work. We want to teach our staff policies so that they know how to do their job. And what are the policies that you have put in place that works, so that they don't go and ask whoever is their superior all the time questions that will create a lot of extra work.
Right. So an example of this is if you wanted to increase the phone calls in order to have more patients or clients to be scheduled. And the person who is making the phone calls comes back to you. What time do you want me to call? What area of the neighborhood do you want me to call? All these things should already be pretty well mapped out. This is not a new program. It's something she already does. But these are added questions that are actually just developed traffic, and exactly meaning that there's traffic being developed when there really should not be.
Yeah, so the superior is doing something, and now she has to stop doing whatever they were doing to answer that person's question. So that is creating extra communication that is not needed. If this person was trained on their job, they will not have to go to their superior to ask the question. So you just wasted a lot of time, which time is money when you work at a place that makes money.
Right. And it's not really just going to their superior, but also they may start with their person that works right next to them who doesn't actually make phone calls. Then they may go over to their friend that actually we consult dentists, so like the x-ray technician, right? And they may work their way all around the office talking to each particular person 5 or 10 minutes. And if you've got 10 people in the office, that could be over an hour and a half of her trying to figure out what you meant. And even just coming straight to you as the owner or the executive is awful. But him or her running around the whole office and asking everybody, and nobody has a slightest clue what she's talking about, over an hour and a half can be wasted throughout the day.
Right.
And that's just her time. Now you start adding up everybody else's time, and if it's 10 minutes, that's another hour and a half. That's actually 3 hours of wasted employee time right there.
Yeah. Also changing the lines, like, this client's supposed to come in or a patient's supposed to come in. Great, you welcome them, you do the arrival thing where they check in.
Yep.
They check in, and then you sit them in the room for the doctor to come in and do it. Oh, what do? If they don't know what the line is and they let the client waiting or the patient waiting, now you are creating just bad feelings from the clients, and they can give you bad reviews and stuff like that. So make sure that people knows exactly also like who's doing what, so that they know where to route the person. If the receptionist doesn't know where to route the person, who's the one that sells, who's the one that the person needs to pay, the client or the patient needs to pay, I don't know. That is going to create a lot of confusion and extra work, and you look really unprofessional.
Right, exactly. So we will actually dry run or pretend run, actually controlling a patient and having them do exactly what you're wanting them to do, explaining it to the patient to where they know what you're doing and they know why they're waiting 5 minutes. That goes so far. If they know why they're waiting rather than just like, what the heck are they doing? There's so much more, the patient is so much more patient.
Yeah. Also giving a report to the patient that it's unnecessary. right? Like to the patient or to the other staff members. Like the dentist doesn't need to know that, I don't know, that we are needing more paper. The person that is in accounts or that provides all the materials for the office is the person that needs to know that. That is extra communication that the dentist wasted time listening to because he needs to be in the chair, right? Or the attorney. The attorney doesn't need to know everything. There is an organizing board, if you have one, that will explain that. And if you have it in writing, that is great for your staff members to not have to go to the wrong person to person, trying to figure out who does what.
Right. So again, drilling these things in order so that all your staff know who is supposed to take care of what.
It doesn't need to know everything. There is an organizing board, if you have one, that will explain that. And if you have it in writing, that is great for your staff members to not have to go to the wrong person to person, trying to figure out who does what.
Right. So again, drilling these things in order so that all your staff know who is supposed to take care of what, and also drilling it with a pretend patient so that you know what to say to the patient when you have to go find something. You've run out of something, you didn't stock up the night before, and you got to go figure it out. So practicing what to say to the patient is actually a great thing and will stop developed traffic. Because if you just disappear and that patient doesn't know why they're waiting, now they come up to the desk, they talk to somebody else, and they are asking questions when they didn't need to, and now you got more developed traffic.
Right. Another thing is like changing things that you don't need to change because they already work. I'll give you an example, real life. So when I met Mark, he used to do high-end refinishing of doors. And I wanted to go help. I have never in my life done any physical job, I would say, that I was always in the administrative part of things. So I wanted to go help, and he knew exactly where the grain or whatever, I don't know, like...
The grain of the wood.
Yeah, the grain of the wood.
And you needed the sand with the grain, not against the grain.
It seems that it was faster. So I changed that. And then he had to come back.
So she would put scratches in the wood that weren't matching the grain, and then they were very noticeable. And then I would have to come back and sand that out, and that was a lot of
extra work. Develop traffic.
That's
So
right.
I created a lot of extra work for him, trying to help, right?
And a little bit of frustration.
No, but really, like, when you change things just because you're trying to help, because you don't know how to do it, it's actually on him because he didn't teach me correctly, or he didn't explain the whole thing correctly so that I will actually duplicate it and do exactly like he said.
Right.
So
I didn't make
it's
sure
not
she
only
knew and understood what I was saying.
Not only that, but you also have to drill it. Drilling meaning exercise it once, twice, 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
One way that I did that when I was training some salespeople, it was I would give them the description of their job, what is it that they were going to be doing exactly. I told them how I wanted them to dress, what did I want them to say, not to say, things like that. Then they read it. I ask them questions to check their understanding, right? And give them more data if they don't understand it. Make sure that they don't go by misunderstood words, that they get confused or whatever, right? So then after that, after I checked on their understanding of the write-up, I would go and take the person with me and show them how I did it. And I would, after we were done with, if it was to meet a chiropractor, or if it was to meet a client, or how to sign a contract, I will, when we were got in the car, then I will ask, do you have any questions? Did you see how I did this? And did you see why I didn't do that or whatever? So then the next time I will let them do it and then check or correct anything that they needed to be corrected on. And then do it again, and do it again, and do it again until the person was excellent at sales. And then I will assign the area for them to go do it and check on their statistics and make sure that they were doing exactly how they were taught, and they were successful. So make sure that you get them trained, but also that you make them practice exactly how to do the thing that you're teaching them. It is your responsibility because these people are coming for work and they want to help you, but they will help you better if you help them understand how you want it to be delivered or how you want them to do the job.
Yeah, exactly right. So I think that's a pretty good lesson for today.
Yes.
So again, this is M&M Real Business Solutions.
Yeah, contact us if you need any help. Thank you.